Well, hello there and welcome back to the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel. And with the signing of Karl Darlow looking imminent within the next day or so, I thought I'd give us a little bit of something to look forward to for the summer transfer window, as a lot will be going down, especially with the contract issues. Now, we are at the mid-season, we're coming towards the end of the January transfer window, looking like one, possibly two more signings that are coming through the doors within the next few days. But this is all important, what we're looking forward to for the summer transfer window, sorry. So we have 12 players who will have their contracts expiring or loan deals expiring, which some of them are big deals, big players that we will need to either offer a contract, get that loan deal extended, or various other things. So I'll go through them all in this video in a little bit of detail, along with a little bit of a mid-season review, we'll call it. Sports Bible put out a little tweet today with a mid-season review, and I thought I'd just give it a little whack in this video, as news has been a little bit dry the past few days, but it's looking to spice up in the next few, with some big signings coming through the doors. As I mentioned, Karl Darlow. If you've not seen the last video, I'd highly recommend going and checking it out. So, first up, let me just examine the laptop. We do have a big name, Greg Docherty. His contract will be expiring come the end of the season. Now, this will be a key one that will look to probably offer a renewal of a contract, especially after the form that he's had this season. He's really picked up, especially after sort of when Liam Rosenior has come in, he's really picked himself back up. I mean, that fantastic strike away, was it Blackpool, I believe it was, that fantastic strike that won goal of the month, probably going to win goal of the season as well. So that's fantastic. That I think that he probably will get a contract renewal, especially depending on whatever position. I can see him moving up to the Prem with us, or even staying in the Championship with us. Of course, relegation is still on the cards, but it's very unlikely. Along with people who I don't think will be staying at the club is James Scott. Now, James Scott, he's an interesting case. I think that he's been out with injury or doing his rounds in the academies. I'm not 100% sure, but he was a big prominent figure in our, well, I say a big prominent figure. He was a figure, we'll say, in our promotion season. There I've got the kit from League One a couple of years ago, in the COVID years, we'll call it. So he did play a little bit of a part. I think he scored a few goals, made quite a few appearances during that time there, and his contract will expire, and I do see him getting that renewal. No, I do not see that renewal. I see him possibly going out to a League One side. I think that he's been played with injury. That's the problem why we haven't seen him return to the squad. But I think that he's leagues behind the squad. I mean, we saw what he did in the League One season. It wasn't too much of a prominent figure. I think he only scored a handful of goals, if that. So he's really a case that we need to get rid of the Deadwood for. I think that the only reason we'd give him a contract renewal is if we do loan him out. But I can't see that happening, especially in the stage that we are in at the moment. Callum Jones. Now, this is one that I could possibly see as renewing the contract and sending him out on loan. He did come on in the Fulham FA Cup game. He's making a few appearances here and there, especially with Liam Rosenior coming in, developing this youth talents, bringing in the likes of people that he's worked with at Derby, and at some of his other clubs previously. His sort of youth inspiration is really something that is looking to develop at Hull City. And I think Callum Jones will go out on loan if we get that contract renewal, as mentioned. Alongside him, we do have Joshua Emmanuel. Now, he's been rumoured with a move away from the club to various other Championship and League One sides. Now, I do see this happening. Of course, he's been suffering with some personal terms, which we don't know the full extent of. And I do see him possibly most likely leaving the club come the end of the season. His contract will be ended, and it'll probably be time to go in the sad sense for Joshua Emmanuel. Wherever his horizons take him, but I know that he was spotted in training a couple of months back. I'm not sure if that's just him trying to get back up to fitness or if that's him getting ready to move on to a different club. Now, alongside him, we do have Matty Jacob, another one of the youth players that could possibly get a contract renewal and then go out on loan. Not too much swaying whether he'll come into the side. I don't think he'll make it into the starting 11. I think he'll be one of them players that, as the clubs develop, will probably leave him behind at some stage, whether that's this summer or whether that's further down the line. Who knows? Alongside him, we do have Louis Coyle. Now, Louis Coyle will have his 12-month extension option. I will say it. He will stay at the club. He's too much of a prominent figure for him not to stay at the club, and I think that he's not really suited to any other side in the Championship. I possibly could see him making a move to Millwall, but then their defence is already leagues above Louis Coyle. So it's an interesting case there, but I do think that Louis Coyle will stay at the club come the end of the season. Alongside him, Alfie Jones is another one that's got that 12-month extension option from the club, and he will be someone that will definitely be staying at the club, especially after his form turnaround under Liam Rosenior. In the past few games, he's been one of the best players on the pitch, putting in defensive challenges here, there, and everywhere. He's been really on form in these past few games, as I've mentioned. Alongside him, Tyler Smith. Now, this is one that is interesting. He was rumoured to go out on loan to a League One side. I believe it was Barnsley at the start of this January transfer window, and that has not come through. I believe it was after he got the brace against, Wigan. Got his brace against Wigan. It came out the day after that he was encouraged to go on a loan deal to Barnsley. This didn't happen though. I mean, transfer windows are over, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It does look like he will be staying with the club, and for better reasons. He has picked up his form. He's probably not playing the position he'd like to. He's probably not playing the style of football that he'd like to, but it is developing him as a player. He is looking like he's enjoying his time at the club, and I think that will continue. I think that he will get another contract and possibly stay around for another season, and then beyond that, he'll probably get transferred to another side in that mid to low Championship, high-end League One status. Alongside him, Vaughan Coville. Now, he's someone that unfortunately has had an injury, but he's still with the academy. He's trying to get back to fitness. Of course, it put him out for the rest of the season, but he will be someone that will get probably not a contract per se, but definitely stay with the club. Stay with that academy process. Stay with us, because we only got him in the summer. He's a really good talent. He will develop into a strong player if we give him the right resources. I think it was wrong of Shota to throw him heads deep into the Championship. I mean, he did come out with an injury, but it's probably not the best for him at this moment. We're probably best developing him a little bit through our youth stages, getting him playing in the youth leagues. Alongside Vaughan Coville, we've got Billy Chadwick, who I believe is out on loan at the moment. Now, Billy Chadwick is another case of we'll probably keep hold of him, send him out on loan, or sell him somewhere that would probably take him on loan. It'll be one of them cases where it could go either way, depends on if the club sees something in his future. But I don't really see him playing a professional game for the senior team for Hull City any longer. Alongside Billy Chadwick, we do have Dimitrios Pelkas. Now, this is an interesting one because obviously he is out injured at the moment. It will be a few more months, or a few more weeks, out on injury. Possibly a few more months. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, it is an interesting one because obviously he is on loan. But he's been brilliant, hasn't he? And I think that Fenerbahce have replaced him. I think that Fenerbahce, in their current status, they are looking like they don't need this creative source of Dimitrios Pelkas. I think we will make a move to sign him permanently or extend him on for another year loan deal with the option to buy come the end of the season. I think he's too integral to the team. He's too creative. He's too much of a problem maker. I mean, get him into the Premier League. He will do bits. So I think that he will get the contract and he will stay with the club. Moving on to a few more of these loan deals. So we've got Xavier Simons, who currently is still at the club. I think that this will be one of the ones where we do give him a contract, but we don't really see him playing too much senior football for the club, especially for some time. He'll probably develop through our youth ranks, as he does seem to be a strong player, but it does seem like Chelsea are not too keen of keeping hold of him. So I think that he will probably get a contract or stay with the club in some aspects. Alongside him, we do have the new signing Malcolm Ebuawi, who's come from Crystal Palace. I mean, we've not seen him play yet. He's just recovering from his latest injury. So I think it's one of these ones where it's hard to judge at the moment, but he will probably go back to Crystal Palace. I can't see him getting a contract in any aspect with the club. But if anything was to come out of it, I'd probably say he'd get another loan deal with Hull City. He'll probably get what Nathan Baxter had, probably somewhat along them lines of a similar contract where it's come in for the rest of the season and the Crystal Palace can recall him whenever they like. It'll probably be something along them lines, but he's a good youth player. And then finally, Salah Eddine Aulad Mahand. Not finally. We've got a few more to talk about. But Salah Eddine Aulad Mahand, of course, he's not been seen yet. He is another one of these ones where it's been picked up an injury in the summer transfer window, and I think he's just making his way back into training at the moment. Now, I think that he will be one, unless Arsenal are begging for him to go back, he will probably get another loan deal extension, especially with having an injury casting him out for pretty much 2/3 of this season. Yeah, it'll be one that we probably won't see the last of him come the end of the season in a Hull City shirt. Now, the last one that I've managed to gather together is Aaron Connolly. Of course, he is coming on loan, and I think that he will make a permanent move to Hull City. He's looking strong. He's looking mentally like he wants to develop himself at Hull City. He's looking like that this is the club to spur him on. He's not getting too much action from the Brighton end. Of course, Brighton are doing fantastic at the moment. Don't seem like they really need too much of him. Unless Aaron Connolly has a fantastic second half of the season, I don't really see Brighton wanting to keep hold of him. So it'll be another case of if he's good for us, if he's looking like he's wanting to be in the plan, he will be made into the plan. Now let's go over to that Sports Bible thing. So, best signing of the season. This was without a doubt Oscar Estupiñán. I mean, he's probably not the best player that we've signed, but for what he's given us, what he's goal-wise, he's given us wins, places. We've got some excellent transfers in through the summer transfer window that have progressed on, but I think Oscar is our best one. Worst, it'd be obvious to go with one of the ones who've been injured, but I'm probably not going to. Now, worst transfer in, I am going to have to say, and it's a bit of a risque one. It's a bit of a risque one, but I'm probably going to say, I really can't. I'm going to have to go Nathan Baxter. He's not been in that form that we saw him, is he? He's out injured at the moment. I know I didn't want to go for injured, but he's played games. That's what I'm saying. On the off game, you could say Seri, but I think overall statistically, it's got to be Nathan Baxter. He's going back to Chelsea. He's not staying with the club. Best player, I think that this goes down to. So I want to say Oscar Estupiñán again, and I think I'll have to. There's been a few close contentions to best player, but I think that Oscar nicks it at the moment, especially with his goal contributions to the club, giving us them points where he's been scoring. And then worst player, it's got to be one. It's got to be Tobias Figueiredo. I think that he, especially after that Swansea game, he's got to go down as probably one of the worst players in the squad at the moment. I mean, there is a few stinkers in the squad, but consistently stinky. And then the worst performance for the club, it has to be that Swansea game, doesn't it? The 3 goals, there were 3 of the most pathetic goals I think I've ever seen. So That's what it boils down to. Let me know down in the comments what you think about everything I've said in this video, about contracts, about mid-season review. Let me know down in the comments, and make sure that you like and subscribe so you don't miss any more Hull City News content, as I did say that Karl Darlow will probably be signed on with Hull City officially in the next coming hours. So stay tuned for that. But it's been the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel. Goodbye.